Hey guys, let's talk a little bit about college. College, right? There has been this push for many years that says, man, you should really go to college. If you go to college and you get a degree, you're gonna make so much money and you're gonna be all this, you're gonna be in such high demand. Well, that's true to a degree, all right? That's true to a degree. Depending on the degree that you get will depend on how much employers are willing to pay you for your skills. I think a lot of people tend to go to college and they study really bullshit and they get bullshit degrees, right? I think a lot of people really take this position where they go to college, they take all these classes, they really don't know what it is that they want to do, and so they go to college. At the end of 3 to 4 years, they kind of go, well, geez, let's see, I'll do another year, and at the end of it, it's like cashing in your tickets at Chuck E. Cheese, right? They walk up after 4 or 5 years, and they throw their tickets on the counter, and they go, here's what I've done. What degree do I qualify for? Now, I understand you got to be declared, and you got to do all this, but that seems to be the way people treat college, right? Or they go for the easiest degree that they can get. Did you know that most college graduates don't even work in the degree field that they studied in college? Most people don't work in the same field or the degree field in which they got their college degree. That to me is amazing. I mean, there are people out there who really want to be teachers, so they go out and they get a teaching certificate, a teaching degree, and then they're flipping burgers at McDonald's, right? Or they're doing something in retail sales. People with art degrees or history degrees, but had no ambition of getting into teaching. Well, that's a really big problem, guys. Nobody's going to pay you for a history degree and pay you more money when you're working in sales. That's just reality. So just because you went to college and accrued all this debt doesn't mean your employer is on the hook to pay for that. That was a decision you made. So before you go to college, you better have a plan. And I've always said this, look, if you're going to go to college and you're going to go for a very specific reason, right? You want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an architect, you want to be an accountant, right? You want to get into the medical field and you want to be a nurse or something like that. Those things do require a college education, all right? But it's very specific to the career field that you get into. Now, you can always have to take those bullshit classes, right? Like English and math and all that stuff. But you're going to college to get a degree in a specific career field. But if you go to college and you get a degree in art or underwater basket weaving or ceramics or some stupid degree like that, all you're doing is wasting money. And when you go out into the real world and you start working on that, and some of these degrees, guys, don't pay shit. I mean, there are degrees out there pay $30,000 a year. You pay $100,000 for a degree or $80,000 for a degree, and you're making $30,000 a year or $40,000, let's say, right? Remember, the government takes their portion off of that $40,000. You know, I always had this discussion with people, and I'll use $100,000 as an example. I've used this in several of my videos. People who make $100,000 a year aren't actually bringing home $100,000 a year. You're usually bringing home around 60, right? 60, 65. So the problem when you think you're making X number of dollars, you got to think about how much does it cost you to live. So if you're making $40,000 a year, or $45,000 a year as a salary, you're not bringing home $45,000 a year. You're bringing home less than 35. And that's a problem for a lot of people because they have to live on that money plus pay back their college debt. Guys, college is not for everyone, all right? College is not for everyone. Unless you're going for a specific degree, I will tell you right now, don't waste your time because there are plenty of great paying jobs out there that don't require college, right? That don't require college. I was a political science major with a philosophy minor, right? I had planned to go to law school. I had planned to do all these things, and things didn't work out because I wasn't attracted to that. I think for me, I was more attracted to the money, the potential of earning that money than I was doing the actual work or getting into that. And there was some conflicts that I had morally that I could not do as a defense attorney, right? So, and then prosecution, I don't know, there were some things that, relying on other people to really do the right thing, or people getting off on technicalities. There's a lot of in the legal field, right? There's a lot of negotiating that happens, a lot of plea bargaining that happens. And so a lot of people who actually commit crimes walk because of the plea bargain rule. It gets a prosecutor a win, but is it really a win for society when the person who commits the crime is back out on the streets committing more crimes? I don't think so. So for me, that was the whole premise, right? And defense attorneys defending someone that I know is guilty. There was a lot of issues like that. So that's why I didn't pursue that path, right? But I got into sales and I got into business. And that's helped me immensely, but I didn't need a degree to do that. I mean, you get a business degree, sure, you can get a business degree, right? But the practicality of a business degree, guys, you're going to learn much more working for someone who's willing to take you under their wing and teach you business skills than you will going to school and learning from a guy who's, one, probably never been in business for themselves. Number two, is probably teaching you all kinds of stuff that's absolutely outdated, right? Even in the IT field, right? The information technology industry. There are a lot of things that those guys get taught in school that are behind years sometimes. So what they're learning for their degree is years behind what's actually being done. And technology changes so frequently, right? That these guys have to go back and they get recertified on certain things because the technology advances so rapidly. They can't correct textbooks every 6 months and reintroduce a new textbook. So these textbooks, when they put these textbooks out, they're hoping that they have 2 to 3 years to stand by, but information changes too quickly. Medicine is a little bit different, right? There are some things that, we've made really good medical advancements, but the human body still works the same way. So those kind of degrees, you need them. You need them to be in the field, but you're going to have continuous education. Doctors and nurses and stuff have to go back all the time to learn the most advanced techniques or newer techniques or a better way of doing things. So again, do I think college is great? I think college is great for the experience, right? If you want to get a good college experience, but take about a year to do that and then go out and figure out what you want to do. But college is not for everyone. There are so many great careers that you can have and not have to have that college background. Trade schools are really, really good because I don't think that the trades will ever end up going, they're not going to be outsourced, right? So there's always going to be a demand. If you're an electrician, they're not going to have a robot to do that, right? If you can build a house or you can do plumbing and things like that, those are skills that are in high demand all the time. You're always going to have work. And again, they're not going to be able to outsource that to anybody overseas, right? So those are things that trade schools, I think, are huge. I don't think a lot of people do as much with trade schools, and especially here in the United States, as they do in other countries, right? Other countries really focus heavily on the trades and the trade schools. And there you don't have to go and learn things that you're not going to be putting into practice, or things that aren't going to be applicable to your job, right? You don't have to learn about history of the United States, right, to go and get an electrical degree. But you do have to know the electrics, right? How to hook up a house, the electric system in a house, or the wiring system or the wiring structure. So you're learning very specific skills. The same thing with working on heavy equipment, right? There's plenty of opportunities for that. So again, my take on college is, if you're going to be something that requires a degree, right? If you get into a career field that requires a degree, college is a necessary evil that you have to go through, and you're going to be incurring a lot of debt, but also you're probably going to make a lot of money to pay back that debt over the long term. And again, those are going to be things like, doctors, lawyers, accountants, architects, etc. But there are plenty of great jobs that you can get that don't require a degree and don't require you to get into a lot of debt. So that's my take on college. Guys, if you like the video, please hit that subscribe button, click that bell notification, and if you could, give me some likes. It helps me to grow this channel, and it keeps me motivated to continue to do videos like this to bring you valuable content. And share the video with someone, maybe your parents. I don't know. But thanks for listening. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.